Because HW just wanted to get out of the way. Saving W for last, he's probably his favorite.
Neil and Marvin did pretty well in private life.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They didn't enter into the family business of the New World Order.
They got their calls. They're responsible, so they, of course, left their rings on.
Right.
Not old fucking drooly Jeb.
You think Jeb was getting his drool on?
I think he had a big pile of drool.
Oh, poor Jeb. He was thinking Jeb was having the type of sleep that when you want somebody to have it, you get jealous. You know, when you want somebody in that deep sleep, you're like, oh,
He's got no stress. He's got nothing going on. He can just, he can pass out anytime, anywhere.
Yeah. Turns that phone, hey, honey, if I fall asleep, we turn my phone off. You know I don't like to be woken up. Yeah, no problem, Jeb. No problem. Let's go to Jason in South Carolina. Jason, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Hey, Sam, good morning.
Good morning, bud.
Hey, I think it's so weird that they're having to make phone calls in the first place to their dad. I mean, they're usually pretty good with this stuff. That when they get to the end of their life, you know, the people taking care of them can tell. You know, when my wife's grandfather passed, like, hospice knew down to, like, the hour. It was close. So, like, all the family was able to get to the house, say their goodbye. These guys have nothing going on right now. Why are they there?
Well, George W. doesn't like to leave his paintings.
Well, that's true. Jeb, you know, like you say, struggling with sweatshirts and all, but...
Jeb was on his way out the door 2 weeks ago, but he got stuck in his sweatshirt.
Jeb's also probably short on cash for a flight.
Why?
He seems like he's got nothing going on.
Oh, Jeb. I can't take it with Jeb. It's the... Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
See the picture... Oh, my bad. Anyone that's seen a picture of the president lately knows he probably didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's weird.
I get what you're saying. Like, thanks, Jason. They called the kid specifically knowing he's probably only got minutes left. They knew this is it. So you would think that the kids would have flown home, but you know, I don't know. Maybe they got more going on than we realize. We're just making judgments. I think Jeb Bush is one of the great tragedies in American politics in the history of the whole thing. In all of American politics, Jeb Bush is one of the great human tragedy stories, and it only gets worse. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing when he was running against Trump, and just watching the destruction of this man, and to see that it just keeps going. He just can't get a break. Meanwhile, George W., everybody's forgotten that before Trump was Hitler, George W. was Hitler, right? Yeah. But people realized that he wasn't as bad of Hitler as Trump is. So he's kind of, I don't know, George W. Bush, all of his lovable qualities in his time since president, they've all started to shine. And all the stuff that people didn't like, they've kind of been like, you know, you can believe that George W. Bush is a real patriot. The way you agree with what he was doing or not, he was doing it for the country. So people really seem to like George W. Bush. And you watch him give this speech yesterday. He did like a 12, 13-minute speech for his dad. And you forget everything. You forget that the whole gimmick behind George W. Bush's presidency was that he couldn't talk. The entire SNL Will Ferrell deal. He brought the impression that Will Ferrell did was so successful that he brought it to Broadway. And the whole impression was based around words like strategery. You know, the idea that George W. Bush, he fucked up his speeches. He couldn't talk. But you watch him yesterday, and my God, the speech that he gave yesterday, that is not the legacy that he's going to leave behind. This is the emotional part of the speech from yesterday.
Well, Dad, we're going to remember you for exactly that and much more. And we're going to miss you. Your decency, sincerity, and kind soul will stay with us forever. So through our tears, let us know the blessings of knowing and loving you, a great and noble man, the best father a son or daughter could have. And in our grief, let us smile knowing that Dad is hugging Robin and holding Mom's hand again.
That's beautiful. He has a little bit of, you know, he has a break. He doesn't get over emotional. He came across like a former president of the United States yesterday. He came across like a guy like that's a guy we can be proud of. When you look down the thing, it's like there's He didn't feel out of place as a president. You know what I mean? He didn't feel like a guy that was portrayed the way he was portrayed when he actually ran the country. It really is amazing to watch. History totally changes from the time a guy's in office. History, give him a couple years to not be in office anymore, and people they're not mad anymore. Trump is not going to happen.
You don't think?
I was sitting there looking at Trump. It's certainly not. You look at him, and when he sat down, so the front row of the funeral yesterday, it was the presidents were in the front row. George W. and Jeb Bush were separated because that was a family row. So it was them and their wives, and the Bush family was in another row. But there was this row of the ex-presidents right up front. And it was obviously the current president, Trump, and he was there with Melania. Obama was there with Michelle, and Bill and Hillary Clinton were there, and Jimmy Carter was there, and they were all sitting together. And I'm sitting there going, okay, they all know, Jimmy Carter, I think he's 94, 95 years old. So, he can't have too much time left on this planet, but he knows he's going to have a funeral like this. Like, it's going to be a national day of mourning. It's going to be people coming together and honoring him as a president. He's 94. Bill Clinton knows as much shit as there is around the entire Clinton administration, whether it's, Monica Lewinsky or Whitewater or any of this other stuff. When Bill Clinton does pass away, it's going to be a huge day of mourning, and people are going to talk about the good stuff. People are going to talk about him being a great president. Same thing for George W. Bush. Same thing for Obama. I mean, can you imagine? Obama's a young guy. But Obama's funeral? Oh, my God. History is probably going to be as nice to Obama as it's ever been to anybody, I think. But Trump, he's never going to get a funeral like this. Never. He sat down with them yesterday, and it just seemed like a club that he wasn't welcome in. He didn't even shake Bill Clinton's hand. There was this look. And did you see, Travis, you watched it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the look on Bill Clinton's face?
Yeah.
Like he knew what had just happened.
Yep. Because he was looking even as Trump sat down.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's not happening.
And he goes, okay, Donald, okay. And Donald, you can see this look of pride in his face. He kind of knows he did it too.
Hillary's staring straight ahead.
Oh, yeah. She's fucking pissed. You know this thing of like, yeah, it's all politics when it's happening and then everything goes away. George W., in his speech, he was talking about the fact that even though Bill Clinton took the presidency away from his dad, right? Bill Clinton came in and he took that second term away from George H.W. He said that George Bush Sr. and Bill Clinton were like brothers from another mother. Best buddies. When Obama and Clinton sit next to each other, best buddies. There's a very few people who have this shared experience of being president, and it becomes this amazing fraternity, I would imagine. But Donald Trump, he does not. He doesn't. He's not in the club.
But just keep in mind how much they hated Ronald Reagan.
They didn't hate Ronald Reagan the way they hated Donald Trump.
But I'm just saying, at that time, they fucking hated him. And now he's looked at as an amazing president.
But he was at least at the time looked at as the great communicator. Not as some guy who was on Twitter being like, big ups to you, Roger Stone, for keeping your mouth shut.
It was a different time.
Different time. No Twitter. There was no Twitter. Who knows what kind of crazy shit Ronald Reagan would have been saying on Twitter. No, we've never had anybody like Trump. And also, you're right about it was a different time. Like, the fact that we have that guy in this time, it's just, those are all the elements that you need for an explosion like we're having. But no, I mean, he shakes Obama's hand, he shakes Michelle's hand, and then Bill is looking right at him, and Donald Trump's like, I'm done shaking hands. I'm not doing it. It's all politics when it's happening. And then there's this fraternity. But with Trump, it's real. Look at Hillary Clinton's face. There's nothing in Hillary Clinton that's saying, well, this is over. The race is over. The election's over. We're all good. Nothing. And you know why? Because at the presidential debate, Donald Trump invited the women who accused her husband of raping them to sit in the front row. That's fucking crazy.
I mean, it's funny.
It's hilarious. Ronald Reagan didn't do that.
No.
To Dukakis or whoever he was running against. I think George Bush was running against Dukakis. I don't remember who Ronald Reagan was running
against. Do you
against.
think if Trump reached out to Clinton, Clinton would have shook his hand?
Bill would have.
Yeah.
Hillary would have kept the headlights forward. Bill would have shaken his hand. I mean, let's be honest about Bill. He's not the most scrupulous guy with or without Trump. He's not sitting there going like, my moral high ground won't allow me to shake your hand. Like, come on.
It would have been like, wink, wink, we both love pussy.
Yeah, Bill would have been like, Donald, I know we criticize you a lot, but you can grab them. like, if anything, Bill Clinton heard the pussy grab tape and went, yeah, what? I mean, yeah, horrible.
Nice.
Horrible. Like, Bill was like, finally, somebody says it. Like, of course, we all know this. Yeah, Bill probably has more, I think Bill's inner voice has more in common with Donald Trump than Bill would ever care to admit. The inner voice inside Bill Clinton. But,
And I'm sure at one point, because they were friends at one point.
Bill and Donald?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Donald was friends with the Clintons.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about that. No, we don't bring that up.
And don't you appreciate how the Obamas are? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not assholes to him. They shake his hand.
Right. Although intern Reed said he liked that happened because he felt like Donald Trump was keeping that same energy. In the sense that he was shitting on him, so he shouldn't shake their hand at an ex-president's funeral. I personally disagree with Reed, but they are keeping that same energy. Yeah, but that's why, that's why everybody's history is gonna be so kind to Obama, because of course he's gonna shake their hand. Of course, this is a bigger deal. Let's go to Kyle in Georgia. What's up, Kyle?
Yeah, hey guys. Do you remember that show, Will Bush on Comedy Central, little cartoon bushes? They portrayed Jeb in that as like the bumbling, like crayon-eating, drooling retard.
All right, maybe people were onto this before I was then. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I always thought Jeb was the smart one. Maybe I was just wrong. Maybe I was just wrong the whole time. Maybe the Bush family knew the entire time that Jeb was the fuck up. I thought that George W. was Chris Farley, but maybe Jeb was always Chris Farley. And I don't mean Tommy Boy. I mean Black Sheep. Ray in Georgia. What's up, Ray?
Hey, there's a good video. You should be able to find it, of Hillary Clinton falling asleep during the service.
No.
I saw it. Yes. She's sitting there next to Bill, and her eyes started to close real. Then she kind of wakes herself up. Someone said she must have missed her nap time or something like that. It was pretty funny to see.
Look, if there's
on there. I forget who was speaking, but you could definitely see her eyes getting ready to close.
If there's one time for Hillary Clinton to not fall asleep, it's sitting at a funeral next to Donald Trump. That's the one time. Thank you, Ray. I don't know. I didn't see it, but if we find it, I will.
I mean, I haven't seen it. You can Google Hillary Clinton sleeping. There's nothing comes up.
Okay.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't either. But I don't even think... That's not yesterday. He looks so much younger. I don't know whose funeral that is, but that's not... Yeah, it looks like Bill and Hillary fell asleep in 2007 at Ronald Reagan's funeral. But they probably just had their eyes shut or something.
Okay, close enough.
Yeah, exactly. You seen one, you seen them all, right?
Not somewhere.
Who cares? Yeah, the no-sell. And then, you talk about George W. Bush being a charming motherfucker and being able to pull off the speech the way he pulled off. Do you see what he did to Michelle Obama? I loved it. What a move. What a move. So, apparently, was Ronald Reagan the last funeral? Was Ronald Reagan the funeral that they started this bit at?
No, Reagan died years ago.
So who was the funeral that they...
That was, McCain.
That was it. Yeah, because I was like, that seems like a... I don't even know why Michelle would get to go to Ronald Reagan's funeral. Yeah, it was McCain's funeral. So John McCain's funeral, Michelle Obama, I guess, needed a cough drop. And George W. Bush was sitting by her. He gave her a cough drop. But it was a White House cough drop. Now, George W. Bush has been out of the White House for going on 12 years now. But he had these White House cough drops yet left. And Michelle Obama goes, man, this is an old cough drop. And Bush goes, yeah, we got a barrel of them at home. And whatever, they had this cute little interaction, right? So, of course, George W. realizes he's going to a funeral. He's going to see Michelle there. He probably doesn't have that much time to kick his game. And he goes up to Michelle while he's shaking people's hand, and he just slips her a cough drop, as if to say, you remember we had that thing? You remember? We had that connection, see? He gave her the cough drop, and Barack Obama has to sit there and be like, do not make my wife your funeral girlfriend. This is not, we're not doing this, George. George is like, Barack, my dad died. All right, we just relax. It was funny.
He shook Trump's hand, though, Rick.
George W?
Yeah.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Why would an ex-president and a president not shake each other's hands?
Well, they came to an agreement months ago.
George W. and Trump?
Yeah.
What was the agreement? We'll shake each other's hands if my dad dies?
That Trump that he would attend the funeral because HW wanted him there, just as a show of like solidarity or like unification or whatever.
Yeah.
But the agreement was that no one would badmouth Trump.
At the funeral?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a fair agreement. Why would you... Man, people hate this guy. The fact that you would have to make an agreement, because I don't know, we're thinking about bad-mouthing Trump at the funeral. If any place Trump would be safe, it's at this guy's funeral. George H.W. Bush's funeral should only be about George H.W. Bush, not how much they don't like some other guy. Man, there's a hatred for this Trump.
And people can't control themselves.
No, even at their dad's funeral. Although Jeb is probably still pissed about the whole thing. I get why Jeb's pissed.
How could you not be?
Plus, he slept through his dad dying. That probably, on some level, he blames Trump for that. Even though that was not Trump's fault, he thinks Trump is probably the reason this whole spiral went down.
It may have gotten his head. That's like, oh, I really am low energy. I need to take a nap.
Yeah, I need to start turning off my phone when I sleep. Maybe that's why my energy is so low. Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, that funeral was rough. I need a nap.
I can't believe they had to negotiate to get Donald Trump to go to George H.W. Bush's funeral.
Yeah, this was agreed to months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I guess good for H.W. that he wanted Trump there, even though he didn't like him because he made a fool out of his son. And also blamed his other son for 9/11.
Well, it makes you appreciate H.W. And it's like, oh,
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Because he wants all the presidents there. I'll tell you this. As long as Donald Trump has been famous, nobody has taught him to lose the resting bitch face. You look at these guys who know Bill Clinton is another issue. We'll talk about Bill in a minute. But all the women that were there, Barack Obama, everybody who's famous, right? Everybody who's a super well-known public figure. They have these half smiles on their faces that all celebrities do. If you look at celebrities, when they're not doing anything and they're in a public place, they just sit around and their resting face is a half smile because they know at any moment somebody could put a camera on them, whether it's on TV or whether it's just a paparazzi. They try to keep this smile on their face at all times. That way, if a photo gets out, it's not out of context. They always look not overjoyed, but just engaged. Celebrities figure out an engaged face so that when there's something like this, no matter what happens, they have their engaged face on. Trump is just sitting there the whole time with his arms crossed and a puss on his face.
He doesn't give a fuck.
No, but why say he's squinting? Like it looks like for Trump to maintain the face that he maintained for as long as he did, it would hurt. He's squinting his eyes, he's got his arms crossed. Like, relax, bro. He seems pissed, Donald Trump, that he has to sit there with the other presidents.
God, he's talked so much shit on everybody.
That's tough.
So now you have to sit in the same row with him and sort of, you're president, you have to act presidential. He doesn't like doing that.
It's like when you're in high school and you get permission to eat lunch off campus. When that happens, you just start talking shit about everybody. But then that permission is taken away, and now you can walk into the cafeteria, and everybody knows that everybody knows you talk shit about all of them. You've actually unified everybody against you. But I would at least, you'd think as long as Trump has been famous, he'd figure out how to do his face.
Yeah, unless he has, Bell's palsy or something.
I don't think he has Bell's palsy. I feel like we would know if he had Bell's palsy.
Maybe it's recovering Bell's palsy.
Well, good old JR has trouble smiling, but that's because he has Bell's palsy. Donald Trump he just frowns a lot. That's his listening face. Frowny face. New York Mike in New Mexico. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Sam, how's everything? How's your son doing? You haven't talked about him. He's doing okay?
He's so great. He's so great. He was watching the funeral. He's getting a kick out of it. It was amazing.
I'm glad everything is good and good. I got the reason why that
why do I think?
Yeah, because I know the answer, but I want to know what you think.
Well, Trump as an outsider. So I think that most elections, because it's people who practice politics, even when they're going after each other, even when they're being cutthroat about it, everybody knows the rules. Right? They all play by this certain set of rules, and that's why everybody manages to get out okay. Trump came in, and he didn't play by the rules. Instead, he just started firing atomic bombs at everybody to the point that we can't come back from this. All these other elections, no matter how much you do to shit on somebody, they can bounce back because you're going to use them later. You know, the only, like the Ted Cruz scenario. Usually, now, when you have Ted Cruz working with Trump, people go, why is this guy working with Trump? He kind of said that his dad might have killed JFK, you know? Usually, when stuff like that happens, it's a forgivable sin. Okay, I know they were running against each other, but that's just politics. The fact that Trump did not play by any rules, I think, put him in a scenario where he's very isolated from this group of people.
Yeah, I agree on a certain point. You're absolutely right. But here's the other reason why I think they hate him so much. Because he showed how inept, how corrupt, how lazy, how incompetent politicians truly are. Just imagine, look what he has done in 2 years where everybody against him, the media, his own party, the Democrats, Obama going out taking a stand saying, well, the reason why the economy's so good is because I started it. He trashed Trump left and right. Everybody's trashing Trump left and right because, like you said, Sam, you're absolutely right. The only little group of men and women, they get to be president of the United States. But he's showing American people, I think there's a silent majority out there that really love Trump because they say, look how inept and how corrupt and how incompetent our politicians truly are. You got to admit, we got a lot of problems in this country for the past 30, 40 years. Everything that's going on. Failed infrastructure. Our education system sucks. Problems around the world. Trump had nothing to do with these policies.
I mean, all that stuff's still happening.
Go ahead.
All that stuff is still happening. I think that the people, you don't have to love Trump if you hate politicians. Like, I think the people that are fed up with politicians are now kind of realizing, like, oh, Trump talks a bunch of shit, but he's really not that much different. Like, the economy is good right now, but other than that, it's not like he's done this.
Before you hang up on me, though, one more question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think after Trump's victory, and do you think that the politicians, the good old boys group, is going to end, and people are starting to look at businessmen and leadership roles instead of politicians? What do you think in the future?
No, I hang up on you to answer, but I don't think that. No, I think things will change in the sense that politicians will become a little bit not quite as infallible. They're a little bit. When a politician fucks up going forward, it's not going to be that big of a deal because Trump just blew everything up so much. But what I do think is going to happen is, realistically, unless there's some amazing candidate that pops his head up within the next, I don't know, at this point, 6 to 8 months, there's a very good chance that Donald Trump is going to get another 4 years. There's not really anybody amazing to run against him. But I think that by the end of that, by the end of a second term, I think they'll just find a new, young politician that gets people excited and will kind of slowly start to bring us back to where we were. I don't think this is going to be a major national change forever. I think that this will be a mark in history where we're never quite the same, but I don't think the political system is going to change all that much. I don't think the political system has changed all that much. It's just we have a wild president. We have a fucking crazy man in the office. Other than that, it's kind of still pretty similar. I think we'll just accept more. I think presidents going forward will be able to get away with a lot more because at least he's not doing all the crazy shit that Trump was. That's what I think. Clinton, I'm sorry, Tom in Philly. What's up, Tom?
Hey, what's up, Sam? Hey, Sam, as much proof as I give you, I really like your show, and you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
So, Sam, you're pretty dead on. That last time was dead on, too. The deal is, the Clintons and Bushes are globalists. They have been friends and been running the world since the early 90s, late 80s. They have always been friends or friendly, and that's the reason Trump is not buddy-buddy with them. I mean, everybody loves the Obamas, but I'll get over that. But the reason Trump is not buddy-buddies with them is because he poked the end to their little thing. They were going to go, it was going to be Hillary, and then they would have come back and it would have been Jeb, or it would have been this nephew that's Bush from, I don't know, Virginia or something. They would have just kept going Clinton, Bush, or some other friend of the family that are these traditional globalists for years and years. And Trump poked a hole in that, man.
Yeah, he did poke a hole in it for sure. And I do think that he upset that order in the sense that for a moment, and I think that that probably has a lot more to do with Trump winning than people bring up, is that like this was set up. On paper, this was supposed to be another Bush-Clinton, election. Everybody knows that. And
Exactly. That doesn't even seem real.
Right. But that was what it was until Donald Trump brought his dumpy ass down that White House, the Trump Tower escalator. That's what it was. And so I think that there is a lot to that whether you like or don't like Donald Trump, people are not looking for another Clinton or Bush thing. And my God, if you watch that Monica Lewinsky show that A&E did, I don't know if Hillary Clinton is the woman that should be out there rallying women's rights. The things that she did in 15 years ago, 20 years ago, were pretty opposite to what's going on in Me Too right now.
You know what I was thinking? Is Monica Lewinsky going to be a Hillary? I mean, she's definitely one of the biggest subtitles of his career life.
Yeah, I don't think the invite will come through. I don't, especially after this A&E show she did. I don't think the invite's coming through.
Man, what happens if another one of these presidents dies? Like, I don't know, next week? Carter's like $1 billion. Are they going to do that same Thompson Christmas camp and all day, they're going to shut down the market? Two presidents die and...
Well, I think so. We're just at a weird point right now generationally because it doesn't happen all that often. There's only been 45 presidents ever. So they, usually when they stop life to do something like this, it's very, very rare. But we are getting to this place generationally where, Jimmy Carter is probably going to be before long, but it probably won't be next week.
All right, fingers crossed. Hey, last thing. Am I a terrible person for wanting the guy carrying the casket down the stairs to drop it?
I mean, yeah, but that's not to... that's not to say, there wouldn't have been some element that would have been kind of funny. But still makes you... Yes, to both.
All right, Dan, fired up to see you Friday night.
Okay, I'll talk to you later, Tom. Thank you very, very much. I thought it was really weird that there were people on Twitter complaining that there was no mail yesterday. Who cares?
It is the holidays. You're expecting presents.
It's the beginning of December. You got plenty of time. It's all coming. It'll all get... Right.
It's like they closed mail for a week.
They closed mail on Wednesday, because they were doing this funeral for this man who was the leader of the country. I'm sorry that you didn't get your fucking, Land's End catalog. Email wasn't shut down. You still got email. But yeah, the mail was shut down. I guess the stock market, was that closed yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, you don't like to change the laws.
Who's going to change the laws?
I'm just saying.
Oh.
It's a federal law.
And it should be. Why not? Why? It's not that big of a deal. Nick in Detroit. What's up, Nick?
What's going on, Louis?
How you doing?
Sammy, how you doing?
Good.
Doing a great job running the show.
Thank you.
Pep Talk.
Give him one, Troy.
Pep Talk, #1 member of the Dog Pound, Long Life Dog Cycle here.
I hope all the Travis pups are coming out to Philly for the Chip Show on Friday.
Oh, I'm sure they are. They'll be out in droves.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, Trav, I got your shirt in the mail, buddy. That Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
I got you. I was gonna say,
Weird shit.
I want to tell Troy, Black Caviar's filling it too. Sorry, I haven't been able to call in a while, boys. I've been working.
That's okay.
I just wanted to say, Sam, you think any of these old presidents here or important people may end up going to Trump's funeral, or you think that's going to be one lonely funeral?
That's a great question. Look, Trump set the precedent by upsetting tradition. He almost didn't go to this funeral. He hasn't been going to the correspondence dinners. I would not be entirely shocked. Obviously, Jimmy Carter's not going to be around for Trump's funeral. But the rest of them, there is a chance that Bill Clinton goes before Trump goes. The Clintons could go before Trump goes, but probably not. Trump's older. And
If Clinton goes, he's just gonna go to try to fucking pick up Melania's smoking hot ass.
oh, can you imagine if Bill Clinton gets to go to Donald Trump's funeral and he's single? He will absolutely, just out of spite, try to pick up the grieving widow. No, I think Trump's funeral will probably be a lot more lonely. I don't think that Trump, we will ever get to the point, and save this tape because I could be wrong, but I don't think we'll ever get to the point where we go, but at the end of the day, Trump was a patriot and he was a good man. I don't think we're going to get there. I don't think Trump has set himself up in a way that allows us to get there.
No, I don't think so either. I think Trump's funeral will be very, very sad and lonely.
I think so too. Thank you very much.
I disagree with that.
You do. And which part? The funeral part or the looking back on Trump with reverence?
Both.
Wow.
Because I think once it's said and done and then somebody else comes in, you forget. I mean, like you said before, people hated George Bush. Hated him. Literally, I was saying he was Hitler before the whole Trump thing.
Before it was even cool to say somebody was Hitler.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's like, it's fine. And then I think
It's more than it's like he's a real good guy, huh?
I think you'll look at Trump after when whoever the next president is, let a year or two pass and be like, he was such a goofball. Remember all the funny shit he did during the election?
W wasn't talking about pussies, dude.
Different time.
Yeah, it is. Which makes it even worse for Trump.
No, because
Crazier and crazier and crazier.
Right. You get to Jenko's, right? This is a great, Travis, I'm so glad you brought up Jenko's because it works perfectly. When you get to Jenko's, baggy jeans are cool. And they're only getting the baggier the better, right? Crisscross is coming out, giant jeans. Make them even bigger. Who cares, Jenko's come out. Once Jenko's come out, they're the biggest jeans you've ever seen in your life.
But at first, it's pretty normal.
It's pretty normal.
It's about 20 inches, okay.
Right.
Yeah, everybody can get with that. Just like at the beginning.
When they get... Do you need 36 inches of leg room in your jeans? 36 inches?
It's like, dude, why are you rocking those 42 inches?
42 inches? That's almost 4 feet of leg room.
That is fucking crazy.
That's a child. If you put a child in the fetal position, you can put him in one leg of your Jenko jeans. Jenko brings jeans to a point that they're so baggy that all we can do is go back to the beginning. We can't go any further.
You gotta hit the reset.
Exactly. And we will never get baggier than Jenko. We will always get to Jenko and no, we can't go any baggier.
that's too far.
This is too far. This is crazy. This is stupid what we're doing here. Trump is Jenko. This is as far as it gets, I think.
Think of all of the hilarity he has brought us up at this point.
Look, I don't want you to misinterpret what I'm saying, okay? Everything he says is gold. But it's like we don't even have a president. We just have, isn't it funny what this weirdo said? Like with the other guys, it was always like, it's funny because the president said this. But with Trump, it goes, it's funny that this guy gets to sit in the White House and say this crazy shit every single day.
What happens if he creates a lot of jobs in the United States, makes the economy really good again, and secures the borders like he said he's been? It's like,
When does that happen?
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, let's just say, hypothetically.
We were supposed to have the wall already good and built in Mexico with the checks should have already been cleared.
I understand. But at the end of the day, what's the most important thing to most people is their bank account.
Yeah.
So say he does well, he lowers taxes, people are working again.
He would have to make
not
because he would have to make such an extreme change. We would have to have a better economy than we've ever had to justify as crazy as he is. If it's just a cyclical change, meaning, right now the economy's good, before it was bad, this is the way the economy works, it's okay, I'm not going to complain about this. You can't sit there and say he's doing a bad job with the economy, but you also can't sit there and go, oh my God, look at what he was able to do. Because, he was able to motivate a kind of regular economic change. Not, what? We're doing this well?
Well, it's only 2 years in. I'm just giving you a hypothetical.
We have to actually get to a place, Troy, because of the promises that were made, in order for Trump to be looked at back fondly, we're actually going to have to get to a place where we're tired of winning.
What happens if that happens?
But then he cashed in on everything he promised.
And he won.
Then, okay, look, if we win so much that we get tired of winning, then you might be right. There is a way to get this done. But we have to win so much that we're tired of winning. And the fact that the first term is halfway over, are you even close to tired of winning?
Not yet.
You could get a couple more W's under the
I
belt.
could, yeah.
That's what I thought.
But if he has 6 years,
That's a lot of winning that somebody could do.
yeah.
Look, like I said, if we get sick of winning because we're winning so much on every level, you're right. People will go to his funeral and go like, can you believe how much we were winning in those 8 years? But if we win a regular amount or less, not going to be good. We have to win an irregular amount in order for this to work out in his favor. And that's only because that's what he can promise. Pat in Pennsylvania. What's up, Pat?
Hey, yeah, like some of us didn't forget all the BS that Bush pulled with the Patriot Act and 1 million dead civilians in Iraq, where we're not even supposed to be at. So, yeah, some of us don't remember him as a goofball.
Bro, 9/11, okay? He did what he could. 9/11.
Yeah, that 1 million dead in Iraq, 9/11.
I don't know. He had to deal with 9/11, okay? Cut him some slack. That's the thing.
Why he's such a goofball, right?
Donald Trump needs a 9/11 type thing. Like 9/11 saved Bush, 9/11 saved Giuliani. Of course, Giuliani went and fucked it up anyway. But 9/11 saved a lot of politicians because it's like this horrible thing, and I can't imagine having to deal with that. And these are the people that had to deal with that, so they get all that credit. Trump doesn't have anything close to that. I get you, Pat. I know what you're saying.
Bad. They can both be bad.
I know what you're saying.
Goofball, Trump's still bad.
No, I get it. Thank you, Pat. But, you know, Bush seems like a cool guy to hang with. Would you hang with W? Why?
I don't know.
You don't like Southern accents?
There's just nothing about Bush I ever thought was...
Travis, you think W seems like a cool guy?
I'd hang out with him. I'd go to a baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda
I wouldn't hang out with Jeb.
We'd make fun of Jeb.
Yeah, I'd be like, let's leave Jeb at home.
Okay, Travis. Good idea.
We'd all be in the living room, and he'd be like, I'm just going to get my shoes on. And we'd be like, all right, we'll be in the car.
Hey, Travis, how about if we call Jeb from the stadium? And we're like, hey, Jeb, where are you? We're at the stadium. Pretty funny, huh?
Or we'd go to a concert and just leave him there like they did at E-Rock.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Travis, you want to drive away? Pretty funny, huh?
Let's go.
All right, George, let's go. Let's get out of here,
Yeah,
W.
I could see him being a good time.
Yeah, I could, too. Scott in Wisconsin?
Yeah, I just disagree with so much that you're saying. Back the whole 8 years that Obama was in office, you know, it's funny when people in the big cities, left coast, east coast, whatever, try to say stuff, but when you're out here in the middle of America, I'm going around the whole time Obama is in office, and people are shutting down their factories, and I'm shipping machinery, and you got mom and pops crying because they're losing their businesses, everything else, okay?
That's true.
Trump gets into office, and everything is turned around. Everyone is happy out here. People are buying more. They're spending more. Jobs have never, ever been better. He is building the wall. He is doing more to secure the border. Our trade deficits and everything else that's been going on, all this shit that's been going on, the guy's doing a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, but Scott, what about...
You got to give him credit for that, man. Obama
At the
didn't
same time, he said he
Obamacare.
tweets something stupid and the Dow drops 800 points.
He did drop the Dow Jones Industrial Average with a tweet.
Okay. What does that have anything to do with it? I'm talking about economy. I'm talking about...
No, that's literally the economy.
No.
He fucked up the economy
Is
yesterday.
and isn't. Yeah, stock market is and isn't. Stock market has ebbs and flows. That's the way the stock market works, okay?
It doesn't ebb and
What I'm
flow
saying
by
is-
800 points.
Yeah, no, he dropped it 800 points as a direct result of his tweet.
But it'll come right back up.
Maybe. If he gets credit for the stock market going up, he has to get blamed for the stock market going down, no?
I'm not giving him credit for the stock market. I'm giving credit for the economic growth, for all the jobs, for the people that are happy, for the lowest unemployment rate that we've ever had, for all the goodies done in the black, African American, Mexican, all the minorities. It's never been better.
I mean, I don't know. That's a pretty bold statement.
I'm saying for jobs, man. You guys want to freaking make it racial, that's fine. I don't
You made it racial.
I'm talking about, no, I'm saying for the minorities, it's never been better.
Yeah, but the only reason you're saying it's never been better for the minorities is because Trump said it's never been better for the minorities.
No, because you can see the freaking numbers, man. And these are minorities that are saying that's not Trump.
Yeah, but a lot of minorities are like, this is fucked. My family's in a cage. You know?
Some are illegal immigrants, not minorities.
Oh, my bad.
There's a difference, okay? But no, I definitely think Trump will go down as a very good president. Everyone's going to remember him just fine. And the reason why Bush had the talk with him was because of Trump getting shit on at McCain's funeral. And Bush wanted Trump to be there. Bush reached out to Trump.
That's wild.
For his funeral.
That Trump should be shit on at McCain's funeral. It's just crazy to shit on people at a funeral.
Exactly. So who's the wild one, though? The people doing it or Trump?
Trump has driven everybody to the point of insanity. I mean, Trump has brought out the craziness in a lot of people. You're right about, look, but...
Troy's right, man.
I'm always right, thank you. Thank you very much, Scott. But look, Trump has made a lot of people who weren't crazy before crazy.
Oh, yeah.
He's made a lot of people crazy, but he's also crazy himself. Crazy brings out the crazy in people sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's what triggered the whole thing. I mean, things are starting to get crazy, but it was like Trump was like the gasoline on the fire.
He really was. He really was. And we're going to talk to Roger Stone on the show today. He's calling in a little while. We got a busy show today. Ron Funches is going to be here. Des Bishop is going to be here. Roger Stone's calling in, and that's going to be fun because we talk in the office. We'd like to get, we'll have him on every week because at some point it might be the last interview he does if he goes to jail. I'm not saying he's going to jail. I'm saying if he goes to jail, it'd be nice. It's the last interview we're on the show. That'd be good for our show.
I don't know why he would go to jail. He's done nothing wrong.
Nothing. But he's pleading the fifth. Which is interesting because, and I'll ask him actually, because at one point Trump said that the only people that plead the fifth are mobsters. If you're not guilty, why would you plead the fifth? So I'll actually, Trump said that. So I'll pose that question to Roger later.
It's not good for Roger.
Well, we'll see. It might be. I'm sure he'll have a response.
He'll have some way of wiggling his way out of that one.
He's a very smart guy. I mean, he has answers. I'm going to ask him the tough questions, and he'll give me the real answers. It was a fun day yesterday. I was able to get out of the all this funeral talk by figuring out where the XFL teams were going. So somebody said, the XFL is actually coming back. It's coming back in a year. It's going to be the week after the Super Bowl in 2020. They're relaunching the XFL. They're bringing in 8 teams. I think St. Louis, New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, Tampa, and D.C. Is that 8?
One more. Boston.
No. Seattle. I didn't say Seattle. Seattle. It seems St. Louis is the one that's the real slam dunk, right? Because they lost their football team.
Yeah, they lost the Rams.
Right, so they're excited about it. So, is putting a football field in a baseball stadium regular? I don't know enough about sports to know.
It's not as regular as it used to be.
But it happens.
Sure.
Okay.
It always looks weird.
Yeah, because one end of the field, you're going to have no audience there, right? Because it's,
it depends on how the stadium's built.
Because don't they usually leave a side open to knock home runs and whatnot out of?
I mean, again, it depends on how the stadium.
Different stadiums are built different.
I mean, there's some stadiums where there's stands all the way around.
It's going to be a 10-week season, so they're going to run middle of February through March, April, maybe end of April, beginning of May.
Yeah, they're calling it spring.
Spring, but that's going to be a hell of a thing to do.
So yeah, February, March, probably through April.
So some of them, like in St. Louis is where they have the dome, right? The Rams used to play. That's the dome, right? So they'll have a dome there. A lot of the cities are smart, like Tampa, Los Angeles, the cities in Texas. They won't be that bad in the winter, I don't think. But MetLife Stadium, February, March, April is going to be...
It's going to be cold as shit.
Oh, it's going to be horrible, weather-wise. But they said they're all set for long-term success. They kept pushing the fact that they are set up for long-term success. So I hope that they are. I hope the XFL lasts a very long time. Now, Travis, you know football better than me. I felt like if you are going to bring in a football league, now would be an okay time to do it because people are so fed up with the NFL. But what a lot of other people are saying is because people are so fed up with the NFL, as the NFL goes, so does football. Which means that because if you're going to bring in a secondary football league and run it in the spring, you want to do it when the NFL is as hot as possible, not when they're cold. And the NFL, so you agree with that since the NFL is cold, the timing is weird?
I mean, the NFL's never been hasn't been less popular in a long time.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But on the bright side, you can just put a $50 deposit down for season tickets right now.
I did hear that at the press conference. I didn't know it was $50, but they said you could put down a deposit and you could get your season tickets first.
It's $50, and I love that there's no mention of what it's actually going to cost.
Well, they don't know.
They're just like, hey, give us $50.
They said it's going to be affordable. So don't.
I mean, $50 is affordable.
Well, it's not going to be just 50. It'll be more than 50, I think.
But I do like that. Give us $50.
Give us $50 now. We'd gladly give you a season ticket today.
Like, there's absolutely no mention.
No, well, they don't know for sure yet. They don't have the team names yet. I really hope they bring back the New York, New Jersey Hitmen, because that's my favorite football team of all time. I don't know if He Hate Me is going to be playing. I hope so, because that's my favorite football player of all time. They said they're going to start hiring players and coaches and things like that first quarter of next year, so that's only in a couple months. They're really doing it. They're really bringing back the XFL.
The deposit is not refundable.
That's smart.
So
That's
if
smart.
they email you back saying, yeah, oh, by the way, tickets are $10,000 each.
Can I have my 50 back?
Nope.
Oh, damn it. Damn it.
I love it.
Aren't deposits usually refundable? Isn't it?
I mean, some deposits are non-refundable, but you usually know what you will end up paying
I see.
before you put the deposit down.
Look,
This is a blind box purchase.
it's going to be a steal at any price, I think. I don't even
know.
Huh?
I'll go to a game.
You want season tickets?
No.
I can get you on board early.
I mean, yeah, I can give them $50.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah, no, I'll totally go to a game. I'll probably try to go to one of the West Coast games. I don't know if I want to sit in MetLife Stadium in March, but although they're doing WrestleMania in April in MetLife, and that was fun last time they did it there, so if the games are fun, I guess
It's
it'll be-
April, though. It's
Yeah.
not February.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. They also don't. They didn't announce TV, but they said they're going to announce that too. I don't know. Corey in Dallas. What's up, Corey?
Hey guys, first time calling, long time listening. Just say I think it's the best time to capitalize on the XFL. I think all the fans that are not watching the NFL are going to go to it. I mean,
That's a good argument.
So,
Yeah, that's the way I saw it. I felt like if you're going to launch a secondary football league, do it at a time when football fans are annoyed with the NFL and kind of fed up with it.
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. It seems like it's good timing to me. Also, the NFL can't figure out how to find tapes of videotapes of their players beating up their wives before TMZ does. I'm sure the XFL will do a better job of that.
Now, is that going to be endorsed by the XFL?
No,
Oh.
no, they've said specifically.
Because I know that Vince wants everyone to stand.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a certain moral standard
Gotcha.
with the XFL. We're not going to do all. We're going to stand for the national anthem. We're not going to do a whole bunch of bullshit. Oh, are we protesting? No, we'll just stand and enough. Move on. Don't worry about the rest of it. If you're going to be domestic, if there's going to be domestic battery, I'm sure they'll buy. We'll find somebody else to play football. Enough is enough.
I'm rooting for Vince.
I am
I
too.
really am.
I
I
am
would
too.
love to see this work.
Do you know how much I love the fact that it's been about 20 years since the XFL was here. I love that Vince McMahon did not just take the loss. That he did not just take the L. He knew this the entire time. You could see it in his eyes when they did that 30 for 30. You knew that not only when they did that documentary was he not done with the XFL, but he had never been done with the XFL.
No, because he's failed at so few things.
Exactly. And when he does, he finds a way to spin them into a net positive.
This is a pretty big fail.
The XFL?
Yeah.
Well, it's not done. How can it be a fail?
No, I mean like 20 years ago. Like
It's not done. It was dormant. It wasn't over.
It was a hiatus.
It was on hiatus.
Gotcha.
The XFL was in hibernation.
It's like Fugazi.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't say that something's failed if it's not over yet. That's like watching somebody in a 10-lap race who's behind at lap 4 going like, well, he's losing.
I got you.
You can't be, it's not over.
Look, I love when anything disrupts the status quo.
It's great.
So if he can succeed and actually put a dent in the NFL, that'd be awesome.
It'd be awesome.
Just like on some level, it's great that someone like Trump actually got elected president, because I didn't see that coming at all.
Right. Right. From the sort of macro perspective.
From that standpoint.
Yes. Yes. I want it to succeed. Well, I want it to succeed because I think Vince McMahon is, a god amongst men. But,
I agree.
yeah, he's the fucking shit, and he deserves more respect. But
I think everybody respects him.
no, but Vince McMahon, to me, you have guys like Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, Vince McMahon.
I totally agree.
But Vince McMahon isn't in that conversation. I'm not joking either.
P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum deserves to be in that conversation too. But Vince McMahon isn't put into the Steve Jobs conversation.
Vincent K. McMahon.
Vincent Kennedy. Vincent Kennedy McMahon deserves to be in the conversation with Steve Jobs and Walt Disney and P.T. Barnum and those guys. But people don't put him in that conversation.
I was watching.
Huh?
Yeah, he is still alive.
Just wait till he's gone, and then he will,
You know who's gonna
You
have?
think so?
You know who's gonna have a bigger funeral than Trump?
Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
It's unfortunate he won't get the credit he deserves while he's alive. He may. Who knows? Maybe when he's, in his 90s, people will revere him.
If he takes over football,
Yeah, I mean, that'll be huge.
it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Because everybody is sitting there waiting for it to fail. Everybody. And that's the other thing I like about this.
Because it's so hard.
Vince is the only guy that will walk in. Everybody is waiting for him to fail. Everybody is saying this is going to fail. Everybody is saying this is a stupid idea. Vince is there to say, nah, fuck off. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to hire a whole bunch of great people. We're going to put this together. We're going to do it. And he does it. He's got Doug Flutie working for him. From Flutie Flakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Flutie Flakes?
Yeah.
He's got to be prepared to lose a lot of money for a few years, though.
Well, I think that's part of it. He sold a ton of, or I think a ton of his personal stock.
Yeah, to create the new company.
That was it was put into, now it's in Alpha Entertainment. But he said they're in it for the long. What?
Which is such a great name.
Alpha Entertainment.
Yeah.
How do you not get behind Alpha Entertainment?
In 2018, to have the balls to come out with a company called Alpha Entertainment.
Well, what are you working for, Cucks Incorporated?
It's awesome.
No.
I love it so much.
I'm not going to work for Cucks Inc. I'm here for Alpha Ent.
You take a check from them?
Oh my God, would I? I would frame it on my wall. You know who pays me? Alpha Entertainment. I mean, think about what his old parent company was called. Titan Sports.
Yeah.
That's a man.
I'd be willing to bet that he's willing to go broke before folding this league.
Yeah, which is fine for him. Bad news for Shane and
Yeah,
Stephanie.
Shane
Fine,
cannot be happy.
fine for him.
Triple H is like, dude, come on.
Come on. Let's not, we don't need to go that far into this, do we? And he's like, no, we're not failing. We are not failing. He won't take no for an answer. He will not fail. It's great.
Because at the same time, he probably feels like this is the last big thing he'll ever do.
Yeah, it's getting old.
What else is there to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
WWE's going global.
Right? WWE Films is what it is. Like, as a company, it's a successful company. It's not Paramount. Listen, you gotta put straight to DVD movies out too, okay?
I mean, again,
Direct to download is a real market.
VOD all the way.
VOD is a fine market. Well, I've enjoyed plenty of movies direct to download.
I mean, I can't name one, but we have different tastes.
That movie Clown was direct to download. That was pretty good. It was not a that one happened to not be WWE film. But See No Evil, The Condemned, these are all WWE films. So don't get on me about that. Okay.
Successful.
The Chaperone starring Triple H. There's a huge market out there, and they're just crushing that. So they're successful there. Okay? Don't tell me they're not. Okay.
Restaurant business, not so much.
We're not talking about restaurants. Who does restaurants? Okay, Guy Fieri can't even keep a restaurant open, and he's a fake chef. You think wrestlers can keep a restaurant open? No.
All right. Okay. Good point.
They are on the forefront of technology. You cannot, without all joking aside, what other streaming network is also doing live content to that many people?
Yeah.
On a regular basis.
ESPN, but,
But that's ESPN. That's a huge company. I mean, that's good. I'm saying, that's a good company to be in, right?
The NFL took, tons of shit from the XFL after it was over.
Exactly. The camera angles, the mics on the field, the everything. If Vince McMahon knows one thing, it's presentation and production value.
He's an innovator.
And who else is going to sacrifice their pay-per-view business to watch the streaming network? That's the craziest goddamn thing I ever heard in my life. To go look, we've got a whole giant fan base that's paying $60 to $75 a month for pay-per-view. What if, hear me out on this, we made it a streaming network that charged $10 a month? And everybody's like, well, what if we only made them charge $10? Yeah. And we gave the first month free. Oh, you did that instead of pay-per-view? Yeah. Oh, Okay, I guess we could. Yep. And guess what? Now they're on the forefront of technology again. Look at them go, and it's a success. The company is as successful as it's ever been.
Visionary.
Look at the finances behind it. Fox Sports is like, we will literally sell our firstborns and have SmackDown. And Vince is like, all right, I'll take your firstborns.
Yeah, I mean, you know, major deal.
Huge. Huge. And he goes to USA and he's like, you know the money that you're paying for Raw and SmackDown, 2 TV shows? I'd like that for 1, please. And USA goes like this. Okay.
Dip into that silk stocking.
Exactly. This means we can't bring back La Femme Nikita. We're going to have to go back to Murder, She Wrote reruns after this. This is not good. Let's go to Mike on Long Island. What's up, Mike?
Hey, yo, sorry. Hey, a couple of things about the XFL. No doubt that McMahon's a genius, whatever it is, but the fact is, as much as Vince complain about not having football and football hands and it's dumb, we can't win football season, we don't want our football in the spring. Second, who wants to pay money and who wants to watch a bunch of doo-doo-ass players, doo-doo-ass coaches playing football?
I do.
Any talent from NFL, and he's still going to do a college or competing in it too. Forget it, college is doing all that shit, this college football.
Mike, thank you, buddy. You're a little tough to hear on your phone, but he does bring up a good point. We do need to make sure that in the XFL we don't have any doo-doo-ass players or doo-doo-ass coaches. I mean, Troy, you're not the biggest sports fan in the world, but you're not watching doo-doo-ass players for sure. Okay. If I told you somebody's really good, maybe. Right? Maybe. But if I was like, yeah, there's some doo-doo-ass coaches over here coaching some doo-doo-ass players, you interested?
Worth my time.
Okay. All right. Well,
I mean,
that's why we have to avoid that.
to his point, the argument can be made that arena football did not succeed in the spring.
Because of...
Not the doo-doo-ass players.
Well, yeah, that's the point. They won't have doo-doo-ass players. They said that.
And Bon Jovi on the team.
Well, it's his life.
I don't know.
Look, the guy's not going to live forever. He should own an arena football team, okay?
Yeah, I guess. Like I said, I'm not going with
It's his life. Wow.
I mean, they tried for how long?
Arena football?
Yeah.
Well, this isn't in arenas. This is in stadiums.
Okay.
So
you got me there.
It's a totally different thing.
But it's football in the spring, and nobody gave a shit.
But they're not taking the doo-doo-ass players. They said they're going to take the players that the NFL cuts. So, let's go to Brett in Nebraska. What's up, Brett?
Dan, you forgot to mention Marine 6 in your list of shitty movies.
Exactly, Marine 1 through 6. That's a franchise, okay?
Sam, well, one, if you do it in the spring, you already have competition all fall long with people being drawn away from wrestling to go watch football, and then you're making more competition. It's the stupidest business plan ever. You're taking regardless, you're going to take away from people watching wrestling because people watch both sports.
They just want to do it on one day.
It's 1 day a week.
Well, it's still, people don't have time to spend 6 hours a week on sports.
It'll be on the weekends. It'll be an XFL weekend day.
Well, the whole who's going to play for these teams?
I'll tell you who it won't be. Doo-doo-ass players. No doo-doo-asses. No doo-doo-ass players. They'll get He Hate Me to come back. Look, there was a handful of players in the initial XFL season that did go on to the NFL, and one person from the XFL played in a Super Bowl. So he's not doo-doo-ass.
Well, it's just going to turn into whatever company competes against UFC, whoever, like...
Bellator?
Yeah, whoever retires, they're going to just bring in old players that have nostalgia. It's ridiculous. McMahon's going to lose his ass, and his already sinking company is going to probably end up going down with him when he dies.
I appreciate the call, Brett. I would check the stock price before you say sinking company, because they're doing extraordinarily well at the moment. Like, well enough. Fuck, didn't I buy stock way back when? That was a stupid move on my part. You know what I should have done with all that stupid Bitcoin money? Bought WWE stock.
So just cash out your Bitcoins.
There's not enough. There's not enough cash left. Yeah, it's at $71. For the longest time, it was at $30.
What's that?
WWE.
Oh, wow.
Bitcoin's much less.
Not by much.
Bitcoin is much. Bitcoin?
Yeah.
No, my dive into cryptocurrency. Troy, did you get out of Bitcoin?
A long time ago.
Yeah. Did you make any money?
Yeah, I lost money.
I lost my shirt, Troy.
My partner in Black Caviar, Jared, lost, I don't even know, $60,000, $70,000.
Oh my God!
But it wasn't his. He
thank God.
He was up that high, maybe even more. And he was like,
but he didn't cash out.
He didn't cash out. He was hanging on. He's like, no, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back.
It didn't come back. Do you know how much money he lost off his initial investment?
I think he only put in like maybe 5 to 10, 5 somewhere in there.
But he probably got in really, really early.
And when he got out, he didn't lose money on his initial investment, but he was up that high. And that guy that we had in,
oh yeah, that guy who I was talking about all the secrets of Bitcoin, he comes in here and he talks about how great Bitcoin is, makes me feel better, fucking asshole.
Didn't he say it was going to go up to 100K in like a couple months?
He did.
Okay.
He did. It did not.
What did you buy at?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I bought at one of its highest points.
Well, that's always good. You buy high.
Let me see. Oh wait, that's the Concur app. It looks the same as the. I don't even.
Does, right?
It looks exactly the same. It's so annoying. Coinbase. Let me look at my Bitcoin investment. What? It's dropped even. It says, do you want to link your PayPal account for instant withdrawals? No, I don't want to link my account. Okay. I've
What, around like 17, right?
Yeah. This is really
I
bad.
didn't realize it had dropped this far.
It really dropped, dude.
Troy, do you know what it's at?
Bitcoin?
Yeah. No.
Travis.
Yeah.
What's it at?
$3,740.
I bought close to $20,000.
You spent $20,000?
No. I bought when it was valued at close to $20,000.
Oh, I would be so happy if you bought $20,000 worth of Bitcoin.
You know how much money I put into Bitcoin? I believe the final figure was $1,000. That's a lot of money to me. I don't have $1,000 to just throw around willy-nilly.
Well, apparently you did.
Do you know how much money I have in Bitcoin off my initial $1,000 investment? $263.
Cash that shit out.
I have lost 75% of my investment.
Hang on, we'll come back.
Ride the wave.
There's a gas station by me that's got a Bitcoin ATM. I swear I want to piss on it every day I see it. I feel like it's just there to mock me. I lost my shirt on this thing, Troy.
But don't you remember the internet boom? And then
the internet boom at least lasted a year or two. Bitcoin lasted 3 weeks.
Yeah, but everything now is hyperspeed. Everything moves faster now.
I didn't know it moved that fast.
So
I bought high.
And then look, the internet came back. Bitcoin will come back.
No, it won't.
Now's the time to get in.
You guys buy more?
Yeah, buy Ethereum or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Here's the issue. You bought the wrong coin. Oh, you bought the wrong cryptocurrency. Oh, I see.
The cryptocurrency is a good idea.
Theoretically. So is communism. Theoretically.
I think in 20, 30 years we'll probably be over with Bitcoin. Or cryptocurrency, excuse me.
Yeah, probably right. Probably right. That's probably what Reed thinks too. Old socialist, hype beast, young college student Reed. He's sitting there on one end. He's sitting there going like, women should have a 6-year maternity leave and everybody should get health care. And then today he said if he was president, he'd have his casket sent up to space and then skydive down or some shit like that. Like, what are you talking about, man?
That's cool.
These are the minds. These are the young minds that are like, we need to invest money into like 2 decades of maternity leave, but at the same time, let's use taxpayer money to launch presidential bodies. He said on a space plane. What is a space plane?
They're going to be the innovators of tomorrow. You sound like an old man.
Is that what I sound like? Is Reed in there?
No. He's in the office.
Probably doing something completely different. No idea this is going on.
Tucking in his sweatpants and his socks.
Yes, he looks great. He's strolling up. I just want to know what he thinks about cryptocurrency. I gotta know. He's walking nice and slowly. He was upset. He came in today upset because his doctor told him he was fat. He can't run that much faster. Your doctor's gonna be happy. Your doctor's gonna be happy that you ran. He came in, he was very upset today, Reed, that his doctor told him he was fat. Right? Why is it not working? It is... It's good thing Jim's not here, because,
Wasn't there
it's not oh my god.
What the fuck? What happened?
That I think that actually would have been my fault.
because I was saying it to you today.
The mic, no, it's not your fault. It's the guy who checks your work who just, the mic wasn't plugged in.
Well, because I accidentally set Jim's stuff up, and then I removed it and put it back in.
Is it fucked?
I guess so, because
You sound shitty.
it sounds shitty on it.
Actually, kind of an improvement.
And it didn't sound shitty like this before.
It's the weirdest thing. Here's our plug. But yes,
Plug and do it again.
yeah, that's it. You fixed it. Rob, is it unplugged?
Yeah. Well, Mike, we just set the studio up with unplugged mics.
And the mic plug was on.
Yeah, which would make it, yeah, because you
What if
got
Ron Funches
We have guests today. Those mics need to work.
If Ron Funches sits there, he might as well talking to a brick. Like, we're not going to hear a word he says if Mike wasn't plugged in. Did you make that list of people's responsibilities?
Yeah.
Is one of them plug in a mic?
No, because that should just be.
Read it. With your internship, you're done with your first semester, right?
Yeah.
Coming back for a second?
I am. I'm excited to.
Did you learn in your first semester that the mics do need to be plugged in for radio?
Well, obviously not if I made the mistake in the last day.
You're right.
Maybe I'm coming back for the advanced education.
No, well, yeah, no. Technically, most internships that's not technically known as the advanced level, but I guess here,
Yeah. Unplugged microphone. You believe that, Rob?
what it doesn't surprise you, Troy.
No.
No. What do you think of cryptocurrency, Reed?
I was never. I mean, I never had the money to get into it, but I could.
You do now. It's basically free.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I didn't know much about it, but I just couldn't believe that the idea of something being on the internet and not actually having any physical being was going to
What about
overtake
credit cards?
her. Yeah, that's the thing, but I think it's that's implemented into a system like a banking system that's been running for a while now. I don't know.
Pretty
I
well,
just-
right? The banking system.
Yeah, I mean,
Remember when all the banks went out of business?
yeah, well, that's a longer discussion. It's not saying that it's necessarily better, but I personally wouldn't trust a third entity to go online. I didn't understand it enough to really invest in it.
I see.
And
I
so
see.
I was.
Would you have told me I was a fool for putting my money into it?
I wish you had. No, I think not if you'd gotten out at the right time, like you guys were talking about.
No, I got in at the wrong time.
Yeah,
I got in it when it was highest.
I think
I lost my shirt, Reed.
well, I guess there's less shoes for you to get then. I don't like gambling, so I would never have done it for that reason. You know what I mean?
Anthony, you into cryptocurrency?
No, believe it or not.
I like Anthony being here because it's a gamble every time I go on the air whether anybody will be able to hear me. You know what I'm saying, right? Why is it a gamble, you think?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I don't like...
No, well, for me, when I said it's a gamble having you here every time I go on the air because I don't know if anybody's going to be able to hear me.
No, I got it.
Why would I have said that?
Because that microphone was half unplugged.
Half unplugged or unplugged? I mean, how is something half unplugged?
You're right.
Was it half unplugged? Or was it...
I guess fully unplugged.
I guess. Half unplugged. He tries to give himself a little half credit. 50% is still failing, but it's better than zero, right? Right. Brings up the average a little bit. No, unfortunately, this is a pass-fail course.
Also, I didn't say 6 years of maternity leave.
There's somewhere around there.
It was. I was just talking about how.
But you still think presidents should get funerals in space?
No, I was thinking it would be really cool. It's like, I mean, because you're a president, right? You're
No.
most
I'm
famous.
not.
I'm talking about if you are a president. I would think that maybe this is going to happen later down the line when more reality TV stars become presidents. But
That's where we're going.
right, yeah. Well, I mean, the funerals need to be as entertaining as they try to be during their lives.
So you think like when Johnny Fairplay is the president, he gets to go up in space?
I mean, think about how cool it would be, just the idea of saying, I said space plane because you need to get high enough up in the atmosphere,
Sure.
where you drop the casket that's of course burning already,
Sure.
so that it disintegrates before it reaches the Earth's surface. This is all scientifically proven.
Sure.
Of course.
Sure.
And then you want to have people skydiving around you, so
Of
it
course.
seems like you don't want to go out alone, right?
That sounds good, right, Troy?
Or
Or do you not know what he's talking about?
No, I think it sounds like a great idea.
Oh, you like it?
You, you get TV deals for this. I mean, all that stuff. You talk about taxpayer money. Yeah, you can kind of subsidize that with TV deals and all that
And
kind
then
of
running
stuff.
commercials on the funeral?
I think it'd be fun.
Brought to you by?
Okay. If I was going out, it'd be a fun way to do it.
And I like it. I think it's got a lot of great ideas. I think it's a great idea.
Not practical, but
But a great idea nonetheless.
yeah,
We're-
interesting stuff.
Yeah. we're going to take a break. We got Roger Stone calling in. We got Ron Funches coming in. We got Des Bishop coming in. Busy morning here on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Of course, Jim is in Los Angeles. But if you're in LA, you can't see Jim because he's there for Ozzy's birthday party. However, if you're in Philadelphia, you can see all of us tomorrow, Friday, December 7th, the Chip Show. I think there's still some tickets available in Philly. Go to jimnorton.com, and we'll be right back.
Jim and Sam are searching for a better gig. So yeah, they'll be back soon.
Oh my God, you keep hearing that people hate Steven Singer. Years and years go by. And you're going, why do people always say, I get that on the street sometimes. People say, yeah, Steven Singer. Why does everybody say they hate Steven Singer? Well, especially this time of year, it's the other jewelers that love to hate Steven. Why? Because Steven has the most beautiful, best value diamond studs anywhere. And I mean anywhere. You can choose a great pair of Anita diamond stud earrings for under $270. And they're the best quality, too. 100% eye flawless and near colorless with tons and tons and tons of sparkle. Diamond studs are the #1 gift on her list, and lucky for you, it's a gift that lasts a lifetime. And speaking of lifetime, Steven gives everyone a full lifetime trade-in guarantee. That means you can always trade up your diamond studs for the full value. So give her a gift that will grow with your love. Diamond studs. Let me tell you something about diamond studs. They're going to go up in value a hell of a lot more than that goddamn Bitcoin will. It's a good idea. Now, are you starting to see why most other jewelers hate Steven Singer? It's true. Christmas shopping is done, all at the perfect price, and with fast and free shipping, it makes holiday shopping easy. Visit the real Steven at the other corner of 8th and Walnut in Philly, or online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price.
If you're like most people and you see 2 gas stations and one sells gas for a little bit less, you go to that one. It just makes sense. Every little bit helps. But here's what's weird, though. Sometimes we save a few pennies here and there and ignore opportunities to save huge money, life-changing money. If you switch to Medi-Share for your health care, it could be massive savings for you. The typical savings for a family is $500 a month. Think what you could do with that over time. Just doing the math, that's $6,000 a year. That is significant. And yes, people love it, and they love it because it works. It's believers who share each other's healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people are now members of Medi-Share, and it's growing like crazy. Find out how much you could save and why Medi-Share is so popular. Go to Medishare.com or call 866-88-BIBLE. That's 866-88-BIBLE. Medishare.com or 866-88-BIBLE.
Hey, babe, I'm home.
Hi.
I just heard this great deal on the radio, and it got me thinking.
Uh-oh. What was it?
It's AdamandEve.com. You know they have all kinds of sexy adult items. Anyway, they'll give us 50% off and 10 free gifts if we use this offer code DOLL.
Okay. You got me curious.
Let's take a look. What about that?
Ooh, bet that would get things going.
Would you be game to try this?
Well, if you are, I am.
You would look amazing in that.
Do you think so?
Definitely. What did I say that offer code was?
You said doll.
Hey, we get free shipping and discreet packaging, too.
Awesome.
Okay, doll. Done and done.
Can't wait.
No, let's not. That's 50% off almost any item plus 10 free gifts, including free shipping with offer code DOLL at AdamandEve.com. That's DOLL at AdamandEve.com. Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-900-8407. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, Do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-900-8407. That's 1-800-900-8407. 1-800-900-8407.
Oh, look, right there. There they are.
Kids, who put all your dad's socks in my drawer?
Honey, I bought you your very own Norlander alpaca. So you'd stop taking mine.
My own Norlander alpaca socks?
Can I have my socks back now?
Hey, kids, no worries. I got them.
Norlander alpaca socks. Soft, luxurious, durable, moisture-wicking, and odor-resistant with lots of great colors and styles. And check out our gift boxes for holidays, birthdays, or any special day of the year at NorlanderSocks.com.
Welcome to a special holiday edition of Rug Doctor's Ask the Doc. Next caller.
Hi, Doc. This is Tina.
Hey, Tina. Ready for the holidays?
I am, but my house is not.
So you're hosting.
Yes, and I've put off cleaning my carpet way too long. I called several companies advertising $99 specials, but their final estimates were, well...
Uglier than a holiday sweater?
They are now on my naughty list.
I have a simple solution, Tina. Rent our Rug Doctor Pro Deep Cleaner for just $34.99. Its pro-grade power sprays, scrubs, and extracts the dirt and odors that live deep in your carpet. You'll have a fresh, clean, guest-ready home and holiday cash to spare.
Sweet. You're going on my nice list.
I can always use socks.
Thanks, Doc.
Get your home holiday ready by renting a Rug Doctor for just $34.99 at your local grocer. Find yours at rugdoctor.com. Rug Doctor today for a cleaner tomorrow.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. See website for details.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text CLEAR22 to 350350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text CLEAR22 to 350350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's CLEAR22 to 350350.
Hi, it's me, Steven Singer. Yep, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. And I've got something really special. It's my brand new, very old heirloom cushion collection. Wait, what? Brand new and very old? How could that be? Well, we took a vintage style, antique design and made it just for you. It represents a style crafted by the finest jewelers, real craftsmen in the 1920s. So we've recreated this magnificent collection with gorgeous filigree details and sparkling diamonds on our custom chain that is guaranteed to fit the woman in your life perfectly. Go now to IHateStevenSinger.com and you'll see what I'm talking about. This heirloom cushion diamond pendant is yours for just $148. You heard right, just $148. Real jewelry doesn't have to be expensive. That must be why most other jewelers in America hate me. Have fun buying a diamond for someone you love without hitting the price. Park for free at the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Ship for free at IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price.
Guys, did you know that hair on your face requires different care than the hair on your head? Crimo Company is here for you. With a line of beard products crafted for any stage of beard growth. Beard and scruff cream to relieve that itch. Softener to soothe and condition. Revitalizing oils for critical hydration. Refreshing wash to keep it clean. And balm to tame and style. Crimo beard products. Astonishingly superior. Look for the Crimo crowd in the shave aisle at Walmart, Target, and Walgreens. And beard boldly.
Let me tell you something. This holiday season, I'm going to make sure that everybody in my life has a mouth as fresh as mine. And I'm going to do that with the Buzzy gift that's on all their lists this year. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the thing that they're going to use twice a day. I'm talking about the thing that was featured on Oprah's own list, and I'm talking about the thing that is perfect for everybody with a mouth. I'm talking about Quip. It's an electric toothbrush designed to make brushing better. Quip's sensitive sonic vibrations are gentle enough on your sensitive gums, and the built-in timer with guiding pulses reminds you when to switch sides. Quip makes holiday travel clean and easy with a multi-use cover that mounts to mirrors and unmounts to slide over the bristles for on-the-go brushing when I even do go out of town. I'm doing the WWE things. I'm going wherever I'm going. When I go to Philly for Chip, I don't have to worry about my toothbrush touching everything because I got the travel case that screws on. It's amazing. It's the whole package. It's Quip. And it's the gift that keeps refreshing with brush heads automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for only $5. You can even get prepaid refills for a year to make sure that they're never using old, worn-out, or ineffective bristles. You, too, will love Quip. Quip looks like a big-ticket tech gift, but it's got a stocking stuffer price starting at only $25. And if you go to getquip.com/teft right now, you get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. But you don't have to tell your giftee that. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/TEFFT.
Prepare for your humor bones to be tickled delicately. Jim and Sam return.
Oh, yeah. This is the sound that I need to usher into the weekend. Music like this is what helps me hook up with chicks. Do you know it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Who's this?
Well, I can't say really the newest Black Caviar single, but
how does Black Caviar keep putting out all this fire?
Just wait till next year. We got fire on deck.
Oh my God! And so when does Spider-Man come out? This weekend? Next weekend?
14th.
The 14th. Black Caviar is actually turning children into Spider-Man. Is that right?
I believe so.
That's it.
The songs and commercials.
What?
I'm watching Jersey Shore on MTV. I hear Black Caviar.
No wonder Troy is walking around here with a pep in his step. He's revolutionizing the music industry.
It's great. It's actually in the Spider-Man actual trailer.
It's incredible. I love it. I love seeing it. It's so cool. Support Troy Kwan and Black Caviar. They're putting out some good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, the man himself is on the phone to give us an update on his life and everything that's going on with him. Roger Stone. Roger, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Delighted to be back with you, gentlemen.
I'm delighted to have you. Roger, the things that they've been saying about you on my TV set recently, they've got me very, very worried. You know, there's been this floating thing about indictments and criminal charges and whatnot about you for quite some time. However, it seems like within the last week or so, things have picked up to a fever pitch.
Well, you know, the only thing worse than being talked about, of course, is not being talked about.
I guess.
Although in this case, I might take exception to my own rule. I was on with George Stephanopoulos, who's very short, by the way, on ABC.
How tall is George Stephanopoulos?
This is that great physical joke he said, had it up to here with him.
I see.
But unfortunately, it doesn't work on radio.
That's okay.
In any event, we had a very good show, but what's amazing is I said the exact same things that I said to Chuck Todd on Meet the Press almost a year ago, and everybody acted like it was new. This is really simple. No, I never received anything including allegedly hacked or allegedly stolen emails from WikiLeaks or Julian Assange. No, I never passed any such materials on to Donald Trump. No, I never had any communication with Julian Assange. And the only communication I had with WikiLeaks was a 24-word exchange on Twitter direct message in which they essentially brushed me off, which I turned over to the House Intelligence Committee well over a year ago. So there's no there. Yet I pick up the Wall Street Journal, Shelby Holiday, the single most dishonest, duplicitous, sneaky, backstabbing, lying reporter working in America today.
Wow.
And her headline is, Mueller probing contacts between Stone and WikiLeaks. No, he isn't, because there are none. None. So it gets tedious. It's almost like the groundhog movies.
Right.
They keep coming back to the same false charge, it does seem to have a new fever pitch, but there's no there there.
Now, it's ironic. You're there is like, it almost sounds like Bill Clinton trying to figure out what the definition of the word is.
Well, yesterday it was revealed that I told both the Senate Intelligence and the Senate Judiciary Committees that I'm not going to turn over 4 tractor-trailer loads of documents, and I'm not going to come testify for them. I'm going to invoke my Fifth Amendment constitutional protections unless they want to let me testify in public. This is where James Comey, I think, is actually right. Why do we need to do these things behind closed doors? I testified for the House Intelligence Committee over a year ago. Every word of my testimony is true. I can prove it if I need to. I'm not even allowed to have a copy of the transcript.
Let me ask you this. Do you, because our President Donald Trump, your guy, once said a year or two ago that he said, you know who pleads the Fifth is mobsters, and I'm paraphrasing here, I'm not reading the quote, but he said mobsters are the ones that plead the Fifth, and he said, if you're not guilty, why would you plead the Fifth? Now,
the answer is perjury traps and trumped-up process crimes. I thought this was about Russian collusion. So here's a perfect example. I go to the House Intelligence Committee. I testify. Now, Adam Schiff, who is perhaps the greatest huckster, maybe the greatest con man and fraud in American politics today.
Wow.
He comes out and says, Stone perjured himself before the committee. Well, let's go through it. One, I did reveal to the committee that the source regarding the significance and the October timing of the WikiLeaks disclosures that so destroyed Hillary's campaign came from Randy Credico, a New York-based radio talk show host.
Right, I remember that.
And about 10 days ago, 12 days ago, I released 80 pages of text messages that proved indisputably that he was my source, and that his argument that he could have been my source in late July of 2016 because he didn't meet Assange and interview him until late August was irrelevant because he admits in his own words that his source was a woman lawyer who worked for WikiLeaks. So that part is entirely true. Now you have the more recent claims suggested to him by the Special Counsel's Office of Dr. Jerry Corsi. This is a guy who believes the moon landing never happened.
Did it?
I believe it did.
Okay.
Either that it was shot in a warehouse in New Jersey. I'm not sure which.
Some people think Kubrick shot it.
Yeah, well, I don't think so. In any event. So, but Corsi comes out, they find an email that he sent me on October 2nd in which he says, the WikiLeaks disclosures are coming. They'll be out next week. That was wrong. There'll be a second dump right after that. That was also wrong. And he goes on to say the Podestas will be exposed to the American people. Aha, they say. There's proof that Stone knew about Podesta's emails being stolen. No, it doesn't say that at all. So everything I told the committee is correct. But instead of engaging in this frivolous word splitting, this hair, the hair splitting over semantics and arguing over non-material bullshit, let's make this simple. If Adam Schiff has any evidence or proof at all that I knew about the source or the content of the WikiLeaks disclosures, or that I received allegedly stolen or allegedly hacked news, produce it.
Right.
Produce it or shut the fuck up.
Ouch. I watched the George Stephanopoulos interview, and a couple of things struck me. Number one, I liked when you said that Mueller was giving you a metaphorical proctological exam. Meaning, he was up your ass. But Stephanopoulos didn't pop for that one. He didn't go with you on that, which I thought was...
It was a great line.
I thought it was great. You snuck it in on ABC. Like, who does that on network TV? I thought it was wonderful. But
I do think people need to understand what it means.
Yeah, tell me.
I'm now going into 2.5 years of being under the microscope.
True.
That is because I was under surveillance in 2016. The New York Times reported on January 20th, 2017, that I was one of 3 people being surveilled by the Obama administration during the election, long before Robert Mueller was even appointed. What's that about? What's the probable cause for that, other than the fact that I was supporting and was an advisor to Donald Trump? And then the 2 years since Mr. Mueller came to town, they have literally poked through every single aspect of my life, my personal life, my social life, my family life, my business life, my political life, my sex life, my drinking habits, whether I like to smoke a doop now and then. I mean, what does any of this have to do with Russian collusion? I think you guys know Kristen Davis, a very close gal pal of mine. Why would FBI agents be taking pictures of her infant son and showing these people saying, is Roger Stone the father of this baby?
Are you?
What does this have to do? I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I love that kid. I'm the godfather to that baby, and I love him dearly, but I'm not his daddy.
Okay.
What does this have to do with Russian collusion? I mean, FBI agents were seen rustling through my garbage. FBI agents questioned my cleaning lady. I thought this was about Russian collusion or collusion between the Russians.
Maybe you told the cleaning lady, hey, don't that stack of papers over there, don't throw those out. I got those from WikiLeaks. That's Russian collusion.
She would have understood it anyway because I don't speak Spanish.
I see. Okay, all right. Well, that actually makes sense then. But on the Stephanopoulos show, he aired the clip, I think it was from a couple years ago. You were talking in front of a group of people, and your quote, and you explained the quote, so I'm not asking you to explain the quote again unless you want to. Of course, you're free to. But your quote was, quote, I saw it. I was amazed when I saw it. It came right out of your mouth. You said the sentence, I have communicated with Julian Assange.
Correct, and I corrected it 89 times.
Do you regret saying that? Because it does, when you hear that quote, and then you hear you say that you have not communicated with Julian Assange, I think that's when people get all hung up on the Roger Stone lying thing.
Here's the clarification.
Yeah.
I said within 24 hours of that, my communication was through an intermediary, Randy Credito. I said it under oath on the record in front of the House Intelligence Committee. I've said it in a dozen interviews. George knew that, but he didn't mention that part. Kind of like, oh, you were in touch with Lucifer 2.0 when he was a Russian hacker. Yes. We had a 24-word exchange over Twitter direct messages. What they don't mention to you is the content of the exchange is innocuous. There's nothing in there that constitutes collaboration or collusion, but more precisely, it took place 6 weeks after WikiLeaks had already published the documents. So unless I had a time machine, and Putin has not given me his time machine, it would be chronologically impossible to collude with the guy over the publication of something that had already come out 6 weeks previously. Therefore, based on content, context, and timing, the exchange with Lucifer 2.0, whoever that is meaningless. But you won't read that in the Wall Street Journal. They recycled that chestnut again last week.
So I'm looking last night. First I see all this Stephanopoulos on YouTube, and I watched that, and that's what I was talking to you about. Then I click on this other thing, and it's this Jerome Corsi, and they said to this guy, they go, did you help Roger Stone lie about collusion? And he says this, yes, I did. And I go, what? That's totally against everything Roger Stone told me. I don't understand.
Yeah, he's a 72-year-old man who underwent 40 hours of interrogation by Mueller's people, and that is a provable lie. He has no evidence to back that up. The email traffic, the text traffic, all contradict that. So Jerry made up two incredible lies. One, he claimed that my now famous tweet about the Podestas was that he wrote me a memo regarding it as a cover story. A cover story for what? My tweet wasn't controversial for 6 weeks. I posted it. There was no social media chatter. There was no media coverage. There was no Mueller investigation. There was no congressional investigation. There was no subpoenas until Assange published Podesta's email 6 weeks later. Why would I need a cover story? A cover story for what? Not even logical. It's also untrue. And then here's the best one.
Yeah.
Stone knew about the Billy Bush grab him by the you-know-what case, contacted me and asked me to contact Assange and asked him to move up his disclosures to distract from that.
You did that?
No.
Oh.
Exactly not. It's whole cloth. Here's the proof. There's a phone bill that shows Corsi and I had a conversation that morning. That's it. Now, we also had a conversation the day before and the day after that, and many, many conversations during 2016. So, poor Jerry Corsi gets rubber hosed into telling lies about me. And then, lastly, they said, oh, and there's one more thing, Corsi, other than testifying against Stone. We need you to plead to one count that you gave Stone these documents. And then he says, oh, wait a minute, hold on here a second. I'm never going to lie. So, after Corsi, sadly, just not a credible witness.
Are you mad at this guy? This is a guy you used to talk to on an almost daily basis, and now he's over here, you say, lying about you on television, but whether he's lying or telling the truth, he's not making you look good. Are you mad at Corsi? Are you pissed?
Well, at 72 years old, doing a lot of drinking, heavily screened by special
Wait. Roger, how come Corsi's drinking is relevant, but your drinking is irrelevant?
Well, because I saw him being carried out of a restaurant on the scene not that long ago.
I see.
And I'd never be carried out of any place.
I see.
Look, I think Corsi is a great writer. I disagree with him on a lot of stuff. I'm disappointed that he allowed himself to be hotboxed by Mueller's gumshoes into bearing false witness against me.
That's how
nothing he says would ever hold up in court because all the evidence is the contrary. He was perfectly happy to railroad me until he found out that he was going to have to do some time, and then suddenly he changed his mind.
Here's the other thing. They were talking about you on CNN, too. I watched all these clips, and they were talking about you on CNN, and they said, your letter that your attorney sent out saying that you were the invocation of the Fifth Amendment, saying that you were taking the Fifth Amendment. When your attorney sent that out, he sent that in response to a request that Senator Dianne Feinstein had made of you. Now, the request was not a subpoena, meaning you didn't have to respond to the request. A lot of people have just ignored Senator Feinstein, and you could have just ignored her. Instead of ignoring her, you chose, through your attorney, to come out and make this announcement that you're pleading the Fifth here. Why not just ignore this woman?
Because the bulk of the letter is a demand that any testimony be in public. And I'll use any forum I can to make that case. In other words, there was also a completely false implication because the president, after my appearance on ABC with Stephanopoulos, put out a tweet in which he said he praised me for having a lot of guts because I refused to make up stories about him. I refused to lie.
He said that he loved you because you refused to testify against him.
Well, he didn't really say it. It was a little... He said he loved me because I refused to make up lies and tell stories, to use his exact words. Some people wanted to say, oh, well, Stone's announcement that he won't testify for the House, for the Senate Judiciary or Intelligence Committee is a result of Trump's tweet, and therefore that's witness tampering. The problem with that is I told the committees I wouldn't go, nor would I give them anything in advance of Trump's tweet, long before my ABC appearance. So, again, the chronology you would not learn from CNN. Look, I don't get my news from CNN for the same reason I don't eat out of the toilet.
I see. It's just because it's disgusting is what you're telling me.
Well, it's just nowhere near the truth.
Right.
It's very sad. I mean, Don Lemon demands that I come clean on WikiLeaks. I demand that he take an IQ test.
I see. So your opinion of CNN would be if somebody were to ingest the news, put it through their entire digestive system, and then move the news through their bowel, what you'd have left would be CNN.